At the satsang last night, someone asked the question, is there any question the answer to which is not love? And immediately so many questions flooded into my mind that indeed the answer, love, would be inadequate, that it took me a moment to formulate the answer, and in that moment someone else jumped in and seconded love as the answer. And I didn't have the opportunity to revisit the question, and I think it bears revisiting because it's a very important matter. Indeed, I'm bombarded by questions every day by people which go something like, why am I unable to love? And of course the answer to that can't be simply, well, just love. That would go back to, who was it, Nancy Reagan with her Just Say No campaign. Remember that many years ago? If you're a drug addict or you can't love or do anything, just say no to those drugs. Well, what if I can't, you see? Or even the other questions that come up, so many of them, why can't I accept love? You see, because one of the reasons why that question was difficult to answer is, are you saying that love verbally is the answer, or is it the real of love that is the answer? Now, if you're talking about the real of love, okay, it's partially true. But even then, there are people who cannot accept. No matter how much love you're radiating, they will have lead shields up that will keep your love out. I'm sure you all have that experience. Or why do I feel unworthy of love? Or people will get more philosophical and they'll say, well, why would a God who is allegedly so loving have created a world so full of hatred and non-love? And why is it that in the name of this loving God, people have committed so many acts of horror, murder, wars, torture, inquisitions in the name of a God of love, right? We all know that. That's why there's so much cynicism about love. And that can't just be answered, just love. So we must understand that there is not one principle, but there are two primary principles of life. Love is one of them, but the second one is wisdom. Love without wisdom is inadequate. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say, right? Love without wisdom can lead to a great deal of inaccurate karma. But also it doesn't give you the skill to help someone who is trapped in a state in which they cannot love. We need wisdom for that. And that's why a school such as this is so important. If it was just a matter of love, we wouldn't require the training that we give here. And so I want to emphasize how essential that is. Now, equally, wisdom without love is absolutely futile. And we know so many philosophers who have a great deal of capacity to think, but they can't love their way out of a paper bag. And thinking alone won't get you out of the box of the ego. The two must be integrated, yes. But we must be able to answer those questions. First for ourselves, and then if we wish to be facilitators of healing, we must be able to help others. We must be able to develop a method. We must be able to have insights that help another to understand the unconscious motivations and dynamics which keep them from living in a state of love. And from distorting non-love into an illusion of love so that people can do things that are really unloving and call them love. And so we mustn't be naive and think that love without wisdom is sufficient, because it's not. Those are the two primary principles, love and wisdom. But then there are two secondary principles in the world of action, right? One is the Innenwelt, to use German philosophical concepts, and then you have the Umwelt, the world around you. Is your love active and operating in the world around you? So there are many people who say, yes, I am love, love is all there is, but then you find out they can't love their own husband or wife. They can't love their parents, their children, their world, nature. They can talk love. The love can be there in a very grand philosophical sense, but then in the actual world, the love isn't really able to function and heal the other. So there are two principles. One is karma yoga. That is love in action. If we are able to act without greed, possessiveness, the desire for some ulterior agenda to be fulfilled by the ego, then that will help to unravel the ego's knots and unwillingness to love. And the second one is community. Because it's not just a matter of what do I do, but the real test is, can I help form a communion of love with other human beings? Because that's the ultimate test, isn't it? Can we live together in love? I can think I love as long as the other is far away, but when they're right there in my face, then can I still love? And can I love them when they are not in a state of love? And how can I help to change non-love into love? It is these skills and powers that are essential, that we must grow and gain in order to be able to transform our world. So love alone is not enough. But love integrated with wisdom, with skill, with insight, with determination, perseverance, willingness to have the courage to face the adversity of people unwilling to love or receive your love, then it can be done. But when love and wisdom are combined and you wish to create community, that's when the need for law comes into play. Wisdom must come into action to create a kind of governance, a kind of understanding of what is the matrix and the paradigm in which all can live together in a state of maximum freedom without impinging on the freedom of the other. This is a great riddle for people today. At any level, they have great difficulty in solving. How do we create a community that is both loving and liberating and at the same time has order so that everyone can grow to their full potential?